Hi there, Yogi, and welcome to this special little segment of our gentle yoga classes. I took a regular 60-minute gentle class and I squeezed it into just 20 minutes so you'll get a feeling of what a gentle yoga class is with us. And this particular segment is all about building strength in the core using a couple of different movements and having some fun with blocks. So when you're ready, you're going to want to make sure you have at least one yoga block available and get ready. You may even sweat a bit, but I promise you'll start to build and sense in the feelings of what it's like to really start to work into the subtle body more in practice. And I can't wait to share this with you. Enjoy. Now, Yogi, if you'd like, you can bring a blanket underneath your hips and slowly just prop up your seat a bit so that you can sit comfortably on your mat. And we'll begin with eyes closed and just taking a moment to really land in the body, to land in this practice, to land in your seat, both sits bones on the earth, really allowing the whole pelvis to drop into the earth. Yeah, and letting the crown of the head reach up and letting the shoulders lift up and then draw down the back. You can slowly draw chin a bit down towards chest and then just take a moment to become aware and present to the quality and the depth and the spaciousness of your breath. So much of the beginning of our practice is about just noticing and coming back into this sensing and feeling awareness that we cultivate on the mat. And so, by honoring this practice with the awareness of and the qualities of your breath, you can begin to just fall a little deeper into practice. With kindness, with compassion, with this, true gift, which is being able to show up and be present for yourself on the mat. And then slowly you can bring your elbows out wide. Rest on the mat. Draw knees into chest, give them a squeeze. And rock and roll side to side. Keeping your knees together, or shins together, your ankles together, lifting your knees up so they're right over your hips. Let's land here. Take your arms out nice and wide. And we're going to make some circles. So you can make these circles small, let your knees lead. And you should feel this in your belly. So we're just building a little core strength, a little passive core strength here. Making those circles. And you can make them a little bit bigger if you want. You can even almost like rock side to side. Arms are long, shoulder blades are pressed into the earth. And start to move your body. Switch directions at any time. And take your time making the circles and just feel the strength, connection. All these parts and pieces are connected together. And you offer them some love and support. Let's do one more breath here. Hug the knees back into the chest. Give them a squeeze. Bringing your feet onto the earth. Let's just take a moment to land here and offer the spine a bit of release. Feet can come nice and wide, hands on your hips. And we're going to come into pranayama here. I like opening up the body a bit before we begin to breathe. And so from here, you can have your hands on your low belly. You can have one hand on your heart if you'd like. I'm going to come into dirga or 3-part breath. Nice big inhale into the heart. Allowing the heart to expand as you breathe in. Exhale, let it go. Breathing into the ribs now. Inhale to expand through the rib cage. And let it go. Inhale into the low belly. And let it go. And then we'll connect those breathing parts together. Inhaling first into the heart. Bringing the breath into the ribs. Bringing the breath into the belly. Exhale from the belly. Exhale the ribs. Exhale heart. Let's do 3 more just like that. Inhale heart. Inhale ribs. Inhale belly. Exhale belly. Exhale ribs. Exhale heart. 2 more. Letting it go. And breathe. And now just notice. Bring your body back to a less controlled breath. And noticing your body and the sensations within your body. From here, we're going to bend knees and just roll them over to a side and roll right onto the belly. I'm going to do a little work in the heart. Let's press palms into the earth, lifting up low cobra. Hips are pressing into the ground, toes are nice and long, so open in the heart. Imagining the heart being pulled forward as if it's on a string. Pressing hips into the ground, really anchoring through the tops of the feet. 2 more breaths. And then slowly release. Bending knees, windshield wiper legs side to side. Come on up through tabletop. Landing here this time, bringing all 4s onto the earth, hands, knees, shins. You can tuck toes if you'd like, or keep your feet long. Draw belly into spine. And for this tabletop, again, you can really make it your own. Let it be yours. I'm going to start with the arms today. So pressing left arm into the earth, I'm going to reach right arm forward. You can start with the legs if you'd like. You're finding the press into the ground and then using the strength of the belly, the strength of the remaining 3 limbs pressing into the ground to extend an arm or a leg. And just notice the sensation for 3 breaths. Next exhale, bring your limb to the earth and come to the other side. Pressing down and expanding long, open. Noticing your shoulders and the length in the back of your neck. Last breath in and let it go. So now you can choose another limb or you can come back to what you started with. And extend the right leg long. You can choose here what you'd like to do. And again, all 3 limbs pressing into the earth, strong in the belly. Keep pressing down, find length, length, length. And then slowly release. Extending the last limb, nice and long. Anchor into the earth. Find length, find space, find the strength. Use that belly, that core. Press into the ground, get a little stronger. And then come back to center. Inhale through a cow pose. Exhale to your cat. Let's walk palms forward, roll over toes, and we'll find downward dog. Maybe bending knees, maybe sending hips up to the sky. Notice your stance. All 10 fingers, all 10 toes. Next inhale, let's bend knees, look forward. Tiny steps. Take your time. You can walk your feet out a little wider to get there. Pressing feet into the ground. Inhale, hands onto knees. Nice long spine. Exhale, fold, let it go. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do that again. Inhale. Exhale. Press to your feet, rise. Reach up high. Exhale, hands to heart center. Breath in. Breath out. I'm going to bring feet, they can be at hips width distance. They can be together if you have a block. Let's bring that into the mix. I'm going to do a little bit of standing work. We're going to bring the block, if you have it, in between your thighs. I'm going to work on our chair pose today. So I'm going to start facing you and then I'll turn so you can kind of see both directions. So squeezing the thighs into the block, really allowing, right, this press, this squeeze inward. So strong here. You should, if you can, you should be able to light up your core here and just get nice and strong and then begin to shift a little forward and back. Nice and long in the spine, shoulder blades draw together. And then if you can, start to bend into the knees. I like to shift my weight a little forward and back and really find this really slow progression down into the chair pose. Hands can be together. Sometimes I find it easier to bring hands onto the heart. So I'm going to turn so you can see the bend in my knees. And then if you'd like, start to send your seat back only to the level that is feeling good in your body. We're going to keep breathing here. Squeezing into the block. And noticing your knees. Keep drawing them back, drawing that seat back, right? We don't want to sit forward, we want to sit back. So strong in the belly, so strong in the heart. Let's take 3 more breaths. And then slowly come up to standing. You can remove the block. And we're going to play with the block a little bit. So again, if you have it, you can bring it in between your hands now. And take a nice wide stance. And then slowly stretching the block forward, squeezing the block with both hands. Maybe start to lift it up. Use your core to stabilize. Lifting up a little higher and bring it to the degree that it feels good for you. If you notice that you're losing the squeeze, you can let it go. Maybe reaching it up over your head. I like to do this standing, slight bend in the knees. Make sure your knees are slightly bent. Keep pressing. 3 breaths. And then slowly release. We're going to bring the block back to your chair pose. I promise we'll get lots of nice and gentle squishiness after this, okay? So bear with me. Let's find that press of the block into the thighs, thighs into the block. Start to bend your knees. I like to shift a little forward and back and really just like feel out my feet on the earth. So that as I sink down, right, I'm using all the awareness, right? Pressing into the heels, squeezing the block together. It's okay if you don't have all of these. That's what comes with practice. So we just keep doing this, and eventually you start to feel it a little bit more. Draw your belly into your spine nice and strong here, nice and long in your low back. And then you can have your hands together, or you can keep your elbows out wide. We're working on balance here. So you can always come back to this and try it again on your own to just come back into really building up balance and support in the body with your elbows nice and wide. We're going to turn over to the right. So just the upper body. The knees, the hips stay exactly where they are. And we're twisting, twisting, twisting to one side. So good for the core. It's a nice full body shape here. 3 breaths. You got it. Each inhale, you can get a little longer in the spine. Each exhale, twist a little bit more. Breathing in. Use that breath. Keep squeezing the block. Last breath in. Exhale, twist, 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 twist. Inhale back to center. Reach your hands up. Exhale, you can bring hands to heart center. Let's take a breath. Breathing in and letting it go. We have one more side. Squeezing into the block, take your time, bend those knees, slowly draw yourself down. Finding the shape, really taking the time. Again, flattening that lower back. So draw belly in the spine. This is so important. Elbows come nice and wide. Maybe you stay here. If you're feeling adventurous, if you're ready to give it a try, you can just twist your heart towards the other side. All right, towards the left. And we're breathing. You got it. I'm twisting a bit more. So good for the core. Breathe. Twist. Each inhale, spine gets a little longer. So you're thinking back of the neck is a little longer, crown of the head is a little longer. Breathing in, twisting, 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 twisting. 2 more breaths. We're nearly there. Last breath in. Twist a little bit more. Inhale back to center. So now we're going to grab the block. And we're going to try this thing that we did with the hands, and we're going to do it in our warrior one. So starting with the right foot forward, left foot takes that half step back. We're so strong in the feet, pressing into that back heel. Hands on the block, nice palms on the short side of the block. Stretch out in front of you. And I want you to notice here, you might find that this allows you to wake up the core, become aware of the strength of your belly, drawing it into your spine. And then if you can, and if you'd like, you can attempt to start to lift the block up, keep pressing, keep squeezing it. Lifting it up, maybe bringing it overhead. 3 breaths here. Wherever you are, you're doing great. This is the work, right? This is the bringing our practice into greater awareness. Last breath in. And slowly release. And come to the other side. Left foot forward, right foot back. Again, nice wide stance, so supportive. Anchoring into the ground. Long arms. Press into the block. Really fire up. Use the arm muscles. Use the shoulders. Fire up the belly. And when you're ready, lift slowly. Take your time. Only bring it to the degree that feels best for you. That could be here. Right? You have nothing but time, right? We get to do this maybe once. Maybe this is a practice that you've done before, but if it's new, just allow it to be new. Let's breathe. Last breath in. Keep squeezing, keep squeezing. And then slowly release. Good news. Now you can drop that that block down and inhale. We'll sweep hands up to the sky. Exhale, fold, 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 fold down to the earth. Inhale to your halfway lift, and this time we're going to take tiny steps, walking right back to your downward dog. Take your time. Pressing hands into the ground, feet into the ground. Get long in those arm bones. And breathe. You can always drop back into your child's pose if you prefer, or a tabletop. 3 more breaths. Last inhale. Exhale, drop knees. Let's take knees wide, bring toes to touch, and into child's pose. And dropping head down to the earth. And letting those arms rest. Big breath in. Let it out. Make our way into our final resting pose, and maybe that looks like grabbing a blanket and wrapping it over your body. Maybe grab a bolster and some support, and maybe you rest here. Allowing compassion to spill out of your heart. Offering gratitude to your breath. For continuing to nourish and oxygenate yourselves. Offering gratitude to the mind for each thought that it thinks, and gratitude for the quiet space in between thoughts. You can continue in this shape and in your rest as long as you would like, dear yogi. When you are ready to begin to move, you can bend knees, maybe roll to the side, pause for a moment, landing here in your restful shape. Taking time to become aware of the feelings and the sensations that have shifted in your body and in your being. And as you are ready, slowly coming up to the seat, crossing ankles and bringing head tall. Hands can stack on heart center. You made it. And you completed another movement and breath and delightful yogi experience on your mat. And it's with that gratitude and appreciation for your continued presence for yourself and your own well-being. We close this practice with an Om. Let's breathe in. Bringing thumb knuckles up to forehead center. Let's take a final breath in. On our exhale, as we bow, we say, Namaste. Thank you so much for joining us for this gentle yoga segment. If you enjoyed this class, I encourage you to make sure that you hit subscribe on our channel so that you can get more videos from us. And 2, check out our live studio. In addition to live virtual classes, we also offer a recorded class library, and that recorded class library is a really affordable monthly price. You can check it all out on our website. There's a lot of options to practice with us, and my goodness, the community alone is absolutely worth it. So, with that, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you again on the mat soon. Be well, dear yogi.